Thank you for joining us. I'm Bill Jasper with the New American, and we're fortunate to have with us today Mr. Kurt Hyde. He's an election integrity expert, and we're going to continue our conversation with him on the upcoming elections, the midterm 2018 elections. Now, one of the things that we hear being floated is that the federal Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is saying, well, we can help you states have a national plan and secure the vote. What's wrong with proposals like that?
Well, the first thing is it's unconstitutional, as well as unnecessary, but it's unconstitutional. And I would urge people to read Federalist Paper number 59 by Alexander Hamilton. And in it, he had said that if the federal government took over elections, that would be the end of the states. And that would be too much concentration of power in one place. And so even if they, and like I say, it's also really unnecessary, because the Russian hacker theory really is not a proven theory. It isn't real. The right way for these people to be protecting their elections is to open the process and to have either a paper trail or paper ballots and have these things to be verified. I mean, that's what we really need to do to protect our elections. Some of this new technology, such as that was brought in the Republican caucuses, like in the Iowa caucuses this last time, where they're using strong forms of encryption to protect the precinct results. That is not the right way to protect the precinct results. The way to protect the precinct results was for them to have done like they did traditionally, and that was to proclaim those results and let everybody see what the results were and to make a permanent record of it.
But then if that is challenged, you actually have paper votes that can go back and be counted.
Paper votes, plus the public was told.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I went to the Iowa Republican Party a few years ago, and they are still not releasing what the individual precinct results were.
Well, and again, that gets back to what we discussed earlier about transparency, openness, having these things available, open to the American public, so that the voters can go, be precinct watchers. They can go in there, any member of the public, to see what is happening and witness that these are legitimate results.
That is correct. That is the American way. That is the traditional American way, by opening the process, letting the people see it. And a few years ago, I wrote an article for the New American called Dictators Dictating Elections. The idea of keeping things secret, using strong forms of secrecy, those were things that Hitler and Stalin did to protect their elections. Of course, what they did was they protected their elections from what the inside people were doing for the operation of it. And clearly, what we don't need is we don't need federal help running our elections.
Right, that is an assault on the checks and balances, the separation of powers. That is part of our protection, having 50 separate states with their own electoral process. And it's very difficult then for any central authority to throw an election, because you have that breakdown of all the different states.
Correct.
So in our upcoming election, are you optimistic that we're going to be able to see a fair and verifiable election?
I'm concerned about the vulnerabilities that we have. The real question is, because the vulnerabilities that we have, like where we haven't had the paper trails, where we're not printing the precinct totals, those kinds of things do represent a vulnerability that might be exploited. There are people who would like to exploit those vulnerabilities, and the real question is how much strength, what kind of resources do they have? We need to open the process.
Well, I'm grateful that you have been following this and writing on this and researching this. And you've been all over the country for the last 30 plus 40 years on this issue, and it's a great benefit to America. And we urge everyone to get the latest copy, the October 22nd issue of the New American Magazine, Voter Fraud, Manipulating the Vote, by Kurt Hyde. Thank you very much for all you're doing.